Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group. You are thebroker.com and Home Care Access. I promise I'm going to be quick today because I have to be quick because I got things to do. So real quick in response to some emails, if you haven't yet checked out our video, the video I put out on our Teachable platform specifically about liability for your business, make sure you go check out that video where we talk about the recent incident that one of our client providers had when their driver had to stop all of a sudden to avoid an accident that was up ahead, and the passenger slipped out of the wheelchair. Make sure you check that out. Some very, very good content. It definitely has a happy ending, which is great, but not every issue, accident, incident is a happy ending. So we want to make sure that you are well protected and taken care of. So check out that video. Joel, I absolutely love the website. It's sleek and very professional. Just what I wanted. Thank you for sending the updated executive welcome packet. You guys really came through with more than I could have asked for. This is from an awesome client provider we've been working with that I think I mentioned before in a previous video. She spent over $7,000. You find everybody, you're looking for the cheapest solution possible. She goes with the overseas stuff, stuff you find on Fiverr and all those, quick sites there. And, once they get into it, they hold you hostage and they just keep bleeding you money. So for a fraction of the cost, we hooked her up. And that's what we do for many of you. I'm just so happy. But she follows up with another question. Let's see, this, I responded with some information, and she said, this helps tremendously. I can't thank you enough. I asked her where she got one of her trips from. She said the caller was from a Google search. She had an ad running right now. So far, she spent $97 over the last 3 weeks, and I've only had 2 trips so far. I've had at least 10 calls. Most people say that they'll call back, but they usually don't. I'm really hoping that the facilities will begin to make referrals. Thanks so much. A couple of quick things about this. I talked about this in a previous video. Be very, very, very cautious of what you spend for online advertising. It's not that I'm against it. I have no problem with it as long as you see a legitimate ROI. But typically what happens is a lot of people who are searching online, they're just price shopping. They don't care what you look like, what the vehicles look like, how long you've been in business. If you're tall, short, you have 3 eyes, 2 eyes, they don't care. They're shopping strictly on price. Not always, but I'd say 9 out of 10 times. So is it worth it to do paid advertising? I'm not against it. It's got to be very strategic. What I am against is there's so many online shucksters out there that tell you, hey, pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month. We're going to get you listed on the first page of Google, and they give you all these promises under the sun. It is not necessary, especially if you're going to be building your business where you are building legitimate relationships with hospitals, facilities, building contracts and service agreements, things of that nature. Does that mean you don't want an online presence? Of course you do. Like I talked about previously, one of many reasons why you do need a website is because for verification purposes, when you are meeting with staff and administrators from facilities, you want them to be able to go and check you out online to verify the things that you mentioned during your meeting. So you do want to have a legitimate website. You will have people who, son or daughters out of state, they need help for their mom, so they're going to search. You want to look the part, speak the part, be the part, all that kind of good stuff. Again, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole only because I've talked about that in previous videos, so go check those out. But don't be beguiled or fall prey to the online nonsense. Everybody thinks they're an online marketer guru, and it's not necessary. If you have a good website that's well optimized over time, let it grow organically, you're going to be just fine. And again, people who are shopping on price, they're going to call, but they're not going to call back. They're strictly going off of whoever's the cheapest, and that doesn't behoove you. Can you still get some good customers online? Yes. Can they grow into repeat customers? No question, absolutely. Again, all I'm saying is watch your numbers. Be very cautious of how much you're spending for online advertising. Okay, so here's what the real crux of this message of why I'm putting this out here. A lot of you sent some great emails to us expressing your interest in coaching, not just for NEMT but also for home care. Awesome. Look forward to working with you. So a couple people that I had the pleasure to speak with. A lady who I spoke with basically asked me, and again, this was I don't have an email to read because this was a conference call that I had with her. She basically said, what is the purpose of what we do in terms of the one-on-one coaching? She was talking about the 120 days for home care, the 60 days with me for NEMT, things of that nature. She's basically saying, well, what is the purpose? Very good question, very basic. But she went on to explain that she was a little bit confused from some of my videos where I talk about building your infrastructure, building your bank, building your management company, pushing money through your system. So that was kind of confusing her. So first and foremost, I want to be absolutely clear. What is the first objective? I always call it get you to green. Get you to green, get you operational, get you making money. Why? You got to pay bills. You got to pay bills. So the first objective is to legitimately make money, be able to pay bills, sustain yourself, put yourself in a strong position while you're building your foundation so we can further leverage it, grow and scale. The second thing is to start to actually build that infrastructure where you're actually bringing on caregivers, adding drivers, getting vehicles. We're in a position now where we can build, grow, and scale. Going after contracted work, for the NEMT business, going after contract service agreement work, whether if it's the home care, getting private paid clients, getting government contracts, things of that nature. That would be the secondary objective. So first one, get in business, make money, pay the bills. Second objective, put ourselves in a position where we can start to grow and scale. At that point in time, we go to phase 3 where we need to start putting barriers in place to protect us. So this is where I think I was confusing not only this prospective client, but also some of you who've watched some of the other videos. If you're just coming out of the gate right now, do we need to put everything in place to protect you liability-wise in terms of building different entities and structures to limit and protect you long-term? No. If you are starting your business with a limited liability company or an S-Corp, you get insurance. Those are the fundamental components you want to serve as the immediate barriers and protection for you and your business. But there comes a point in time that I call it your frontline business. Your frontline business, whether it's medical transportation, whether it's your home care, your broker business, courier business. I have a lot of you who are involved in other business enterprises. That's great. Those are your frontline businesses. They are generating the money. The goal thereafter is to get that money out of there, get it into more safer, more protected platforms, again, to protect you. So you get your frontline businesses that are literally on the front line making all the money. We want to legally get the money out of those entities. And that doesn't mean it's going to hurt you when it comes time to sell those businesses, because at the end of the day, you're going to be able to show where that money went, what businesses you owned, where that money flowed to, so that it doesn't hurt you. There's no adverse effect. But the goal is to get the money out of the frontline businesses, push it through your system so you could start to fund your honey pot and build money. Because the long-term play is for I call it the honey pot. Fund that honey pot so over time, as that begins to swell and grow, eventually that honey pot where money is building and growing money for you, that is more profitable than your actual frontline businesses. That's when you're truly free and you're truly rich. So first objective, make money. Get you to green. Build that frontline business that's making you money to sustain you and pay your bills. Second objective is to start to build that infrastructure, strengthen that foundation so you could grow, scale, diversify, build more frontline businesses. Third objective at that point in time is to start to build the entire system of asset protection, pushing your money through your system, start investing that money so your money literally builds you money. And then the natural transition, the overarching goal is to build sustainability. Again, we want to make money with our frontline businesses, but ultimately we want, in order to have long-term wealth, growth, and sustainability, we want that honeypot to grow and swell to such a degree that the money in there is making you more money than your frontline businesses. And when you do that, that's when you're truly rich. And here I am literally going to underscore exactly why this is critical that you do this. All right, first one. This is from Yahoo News. You don't get any more loon tune or crazier than Yahoo News. When you have Yahoo News saying why households need to earn $300,000 a year to live a middle-class lifestyle, you know you got problems. So for those of you who complain about, oh, you shouldn't be talking about politics, why would I not talk about politics? Politics directly affects policy, which directly affects your money. And so many of you who I work with, you know you all got buyer's remorse because you voted for the sleepy, creepy dementia patient with the cackling sidekick Medusa. You got buyer's remorse for a reason, because you're getting hammered every which way. You got Yahoo News saying that just to sustain a middle-class lifestyle, you got to be earning roughly $300,000 plus. What happened to the days of middle class was like 40, 50,000 grand and above, and you could put yourself in the growing middle class. Middle class is being systematically dismantled. Consider this: if you're rich, rising gas, inflation, those things are irrelevant. Inconvenience, you don't like them, but not a big deal. So we're good. Poor people who are on the government tab, the government dole, who don't generate anything, don't do anything, guess what? It doesn't matter. They're going to be fine. They're going to get bailed out. They're all going to get everything taken care of anyways. It's you. It's you, that person who are trying to stay within the middle class, trying to build your business, trying to grow and diversify your business. You are getting systematically destroyed, and that's why so many of you got buyer's remorse. Joel, I can't stand your politics. Well, guess what? I don't care. I don't care, because numbers are on my side. Proof is on my side. Evidence is on my side. Again, I've mentioned it before. We don't need to even distinguish between the demonic rap party. We don't need to talk about the baby killers, the pervs, the pedos. We don't need to talk about the sellout, the Judas party who co-signs everything from the demonic rap party. We don't even need to talk about that. We could talk strictly about numbers and what you feel every single day. And you're telling me that even Yahoo News is confirming that in order for you to sustain and stay within the middle class, you got to be making $300,000 a year? That is flipping insane. People are just taking it. And just remember, these same people that crushed you during the scamdemic and the plandemic, they're giving you advice of what to do. These are the same people. Do you think the enemy's over there and overseas? No, the enemy's here. It's within. Joel, you're absolutely crazy. No, I'm just sick and tired of this nonsense. Another one. This is just confirmation, because there's plenty of them. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this. You can go, here's another one. Another news network. Here we go. How to beat inflation if you make less than $300,000. What? Joel, I'm single. I'm working a job right now that's making me $50,000 a year. I want to start my business. And now you're telling me just to put myself in the middle class, I got to be making, I got to have $300,000 just to beat inflation? Folks, it's flipping insane. So for all of you who send me your hate email, just stay out of politics, just focus on non-emergency medical transportation, just focus on your home care. No, I won't do that. I absolutely won't do it. Again, we don't even need to talk about the moral issues, but we could literally just focus on money. Politics directly affects policy, which directly affects your money. This is why so many of you got buyer's remorse. And many of you, you got so much pride. Pride goes before the fall. You got so much pride. It doesn't matter what evidence you put before you and that person that has so much pride, doesn't matter what evidence you put before them, they're never gonna be moved from their pride position. They got so much invested into this position, they're never gonna move for it. Doesn't matter how much more money you were making when we had a businessman in office versus the sleepy, creepy dementia patient versus cackling sidekick Medusa. Those things are irrelevant. You're so far invested in your position, you won't move. Pride goes before the fall. As you can see, I will quickly devolve into a tangent when I talk about these wonderful topics, but I do love it. I know I get amped up and I get crazy about it, but guess what? I actually do love it because I am loving this show. So the whole purpose of this is to convey exactly why we do what we do. Put you in a position to build your frontline business. Make money, pay your bills, sustain you. For how long have I been saying? Ever since the sleepy, creepy dementia patient with the cackling sidekick Medusa came, I told you, you've got to grow through. I told you what was coming. And you got Yahoo News. Can you get any more Loon Tune than Yahoo News? They're as Loon Tune as they come. And they're straight up telling you. And when they tell you, believe it. When they tell you that just to stay in the middle class, you got to be making $300,000, proves my point. You got to grow through it. Goal number 1, make the money, pay your bills. Goal number 2, start to build, grow, and scale. 3, start to establish a system of protection and moving your money into safer havens within your system. And then goal number 4 is to sustain it. Build a sustainable infrastructure that's going to allow you to make more money in your honeypot than you are with your frontline businesses. When you do, that's when you're rich, and that's when you don't have to worry about Yahoo News or Herald or all these other news networks telling you, you got to make $300,000 to stay in the middle class. Absolute insanity. Insanity. For those of you who did vote for this and co-sign this nonsense, own your vote. Own your vote. But it doesn't mean you got to like it. Stay tuned, more to come. When you do, I'll see you at the top.